Hi, I'm Angela from 𝗦𝗢𝗪𝗡𝗠𝗔𝗗𝗘𝗥 and I make healing crystal jewellery. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. Can crystals help with the coronavirus? I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a medical doctor, and these are my opinions only, and nothing is supposed to overrule any medical advice, just to get that out of the way. But it's just my anecdotes on the coronavirus and what I think about it and how crystals can affect us. So if that is the type of video that you like to see, please do click the like and subscribe button below. And if you're watching me over on IGTV, please do pop me a follow on @𝗦𝗢𝗪𝗡𝗠𝗥. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is I've had a few questions from customers saying, is it safe to order from you with the coronavirus? Now, the coronavirus, just to give you a bit of background about myself as well, I'm not a doctor. I was a clinical biochemist in a hospital for 25 years before I made jewellery. I have a degree and master's in biomedical science. And so I do have a bit of a background in medical knowledge, but none of this is medical advice. I would like to say none of this is medical advice. So it's just my opinions on what's going on. So is it safe to order? There's no evidence, as far as I've seen, that this is passed through the post. The coronavirus, the latest tests, microbiology tests, have found that it lasts for a maximum of 3 days. I use second-class post in the UK, so everything will probably get to you more than 3 days. I mean, I haven't got it, but if you have ordered something and it's less than 3 days, just leave it. Just leave it on the side until it's 3 days and then you're all right. Really, the only person that's probably going to give you the coronavirus is your postman stroke mailman. So it's really nothing that's going to be passed through the post. The way the virus has spread across the world, it's all pretty much traced to person contact. So I don't think you have got anything to worry about that. If it was passed through the post, we'd all have it by now, and there would just be chaos. So it's very contained at the moment, but obviously we're all worried about it. So I just want to get that out the way first. And now onto the question: will this coronavirus be helped by crystals? Now, the obvious answer is no. The less obvious answer, a more complicated answer, is maybe. Now, let me explain that. Crystals, they're not going to be doing anything directly to stop you from getting the virus. We've found that the virus is you coming in contact with somebody. The one thing crystals could affect you with is your immune system. We know that if somebody's got a nice strong immune system, they're much less likely to have symptoms from this. So I just wanted to quote from a recent trial, and it's from Clinical Neuroscience, and it's not a trial, it's a summary of all the evidence, basically. So it's a recent medical article, and this is about how immunology is affected by emotions, and it's a whole area of study. It's called effective immunology. Basically, it's been proven that emotions affect the immune system. Short-term stress has a direct effect increasing some immune cells. There's been lots of other things that have been found out. I remember years ago when I was studying biomedical science, they had this immunology and emotions was really right the first stages. And what they said at the time was they did a study where they tested normal people, which they considered they weren't under particular any stress, quite neutral. They tested people that did adrenaline sports. So they had that adrenaline, but it was sort of like in a good way. And they tested people that were long-term carers, which they felt were under long stress. Now, I can't quote where this study was, I just remember it from my course years ago. And the people that were the long-term carers under stress, they healed a lot slower than the neutral study. And the people that did adrenaline sports actually did slightly better, if I remember rightly, than the neutral group. So it really is a thing. It's been proven in science. People are probably quite reluctant to look into it because it's quite difficult to act upon, because how do you make somebody happier to make their immune system? So I think pharmaceutical companies, they like something direct that they can work with and something simple that they can create a drug for, and this is a much more complicated subject. But basically, going on that, crystals may help us, because if we're happier, if we feel better, then our immune system will be stronger. The other thing of that is that you've got to remember that crystals do affect our energies, and that's what I've personally found. I know some don't agree with that, but I find they do. I have definitely felt different when I've put on a crystal. Now, this is where we come to my second thing, is the placebo effect. Now, the placebo effect, it's always wiped out saying, oh, it's just a placebo effect. But in actual fact, that's quite a major effect, that your body, you can think it's getting better because it thinks it's had a medicine. So even if these crystals give us a placebo effect and temporarily make us feel better, then that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So basically, that is what I'm going to be talking about today, is some crystals for immune system health. Obviously, these are, I feel, a lot of these are linked to emotions. So a lot of these stones help emotions, and the theory is therefore it helps your immune system. But again, it's not medical advice. This is always together with any medicine that you're going to be taking normally, and this is nothing that is contradictory to any of the advice that you're going to get. This is just something a little bit extra to make yourself feel better, give you a boost, and make you feel as though you're doing something. Really important these times, make yourself feel as though you're doing something. So for all you that are interested in the crystals, we'll go on to those. So the first one I want to talk about is quartz. So I've chosen a 𝗦𝗢𝗪 quartz here because the shape itself is supposed to bring in healing light. I'm going to be doing a healing next week with the 𝗦𝗪𝗪 and one of the other crystals for immune strength. Please do tune in for that. The quartz crystal is supposed to be a master healer, and it's supposed to stimulate the immune system. I found quartz is very balancing, balances the energy, and also, I'm wearing one today as well. Also, the thing with quartz is that it helps because it's clear or white, you can sort of program it for anything. So it's very programmable quartz. So it's a great all-rounder. But I think quartz is great for helping balance the system, and as we say, it's said to stimulate the immune system. So that's immune system strengthening crystal number one. The second one is amethyst. So amethyst is said to be a very calming stone. So you can imagine if you're stressed and uptight, you're going to be weaker with your immune system. So calming stones, calming your emotions, or anything that you believe is going to be calming will help your immune system. Amethyst is also balancing the emotions, and it's also reputed to cleanse the body and the immune system. So it cleanses out all the gunk. So it's great for giving your immune system a bit of a kickstart. The third crystal is ametrine. You could just about see a little bit of yellow there. So that is amethyst and citrine together. So that's ametrine. And that is supposed to strengthen the immune system. So ametrine is quite difficult to get hold of. I haven't got many pieces, I must admit, because it is quite difficult. And when you do buy it, it's quite difficult to get the nice balance of the purple and the yellow in it. So quite often it's a stone that's not sold, and it's really expensive to buy. But I've got a few pieces. But yeah, that's one of the ones that's said to strengthen the immune system. But this is why I'm giving quite a few suggestions, because some of these are going to be quite difficult to get hold of. Aquamarine is the next one, and we have a little rough stone there. Aquamarine is said to be calming to the immune system. So if we have allergies and reactions to things in our environment, like we have a bit of sensitivity to mold or dust, it's supposed to calm down the immune system and make us feel a little bit calmer as well in our emotions. A lot of these stones, as I said before, they do seem to affect the emotions. So the next one is calcite. So I've got some yellow calcite and some green calcite. I've only been able to find yellow calcite in the form of the little minimalist jewelleries, but calcite is a fortifying immune system stone. So it's supposed to strengthen and fortify us. So it's quite good for if you feel as though you're a bit run down, for building that back up again. Emerald is the next one. Obviously this expensive stone. So as I say, I've put this with others. It's supposed to work well with the aquamarine. Now emerald is supposed to be regenerating. So it's supposed to regenerate our body and in turn our immune system. And that works very well with aquamarine. That's supposed to calm the immune system. So you'll get a little bit of less reactions with that. Now the next stone is mainly for the emotions. So that's lepidolite. Lepidolite is a strong purification stone, and it's really good for stabilizing emotions. Now with the stabilizing emotions, I've seen that personally from the feedback that my customers say. They feel a bit up and down, and they found lepidolite has the most effect. As I say, whether it's placebo effect, whether you don't believe in crystals, hopefully you won't be watching this if you don't believe in crystals, but I personally have seen quite a good effect with the lepidolite on the emotions. And as we say, good emotions helps the immune system. So the final one, and it's the only one that's supposed to be antiviral out of them all. If you believe in crystal elixirs, fluorite is supposed to be the one that you're supposed to add to your water for being antiviral. I personally don't recommend crystal elixirs purely because it's so easy to get a crystal that may cause a reaction to you. Loads of crystals are fine. Some do have toxic minerals in. So you have to be very careful. So if you do elixir, do your research on it. I'm not going to offer advice either way. I'm just saying that that's what's quoted in the folklore, that it's supposed to be antiviral. But it is supposed to also be really healing stone generally. And that green colour is also a very healing colour. It helps bring in the healing energy. It's also reputed to heal at a DNA level. Whether you believe that or not is another matter, but I think and I felt it to be a very strong healing stone. It's got very strong power. It's one of the stones that I'm really always been really drawn to and always come back to when I'm feeling a bit under the weather. That is all the crystals that I have today. As I say, this is all complementary to anything else you're going to do. I hope some of you aren't self-isolating at the moment, but if you are, hopefully this will help pass a few minutes of your day. And keep safe, everyone. If you did enjoy this, please do click the like and subscribe button below. And I'm going to be doing a healing video next week to strengthen the immune system. And so if that's something you're interested in, I'll be using the quartz and the fluorite in combination for that one. So I thought it's quite nice to have the master healer and then the one that fluorite that heals at DNA level. Try to get something really strong combination. So I hope everybody keeps safe, and I hope none of you are affected by the coronavirus. These are just my opinions. I'm not a doctor, as I said before. But I hope you enjoyed my take on things, and I hope to see you next week for the healing. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.